change the name of the upload and everything on here?
No, Alex did that last time through Twitch, the Twitch dashboard. Do we?
Oh, let me do that quick. Let me do that quick before we go live.
You want me to cancel? I just went live.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't cancel.
Okay, so
Because that notified all of our viewers.
Got it.
If you cancel, you're
Got it.
notified.
All right, well, we're there. Next time. I just didn't think what I was thinking all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
A little bit.
Let's, I guess we'll post on Facebook once the opening titles are up.
I think that that was all really great. What do you think about like periodically kind of like circling back to like and trying to humanize ourselves by being like talking about like how lonely we are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
For the this or that prompt, these 5 prompts I've given you are the first big questions you have to answer about what sort of cult you're going to make.
Okay.
These are the big decisions
Okay.
you need to know straight away.
Okay. And so we're just like we're like
ripping like pros and cons.
Pros and
but
cons.
Also playing favorite to what you like.
okay, great. Cool.
Chris.
Yeah.
So just so you know, I made this like little chart.
Right, we have it was the Google Doc that I was like, hey, we should make that chart, and then I didn't follow it.
Oh, no,
Oh, you mean the slide? I thought you were like, why I didn't rename the upload this time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, does that go first?
Yeah,
Yes.
I figure we just like have, it's like a nice like little.
So I did that, and then I put your new one, which is like the game statement, as second.
Right.
Then your 3 picks. Then Eric's 3 picks.
Right.
And then my Q&A.
Right.
Which I think the Q&A is like the earlier you do it, the better. Just because it is like the first questions you ask sort of live.
Right.
So it's a good gateway in. But it doesn't have to be before your guys' top 3 things.
I added the shirt to the panel.
Did you buy one yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah. We only have a couple days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy it after.
Yeah,
this.
I got.
Wait, let's warm up for a few minutes.
Okay.
Eric, how was your week?
It was good. I applied for a couple of jobs,
Yeah.
and one was at a men's warehouse, and I think I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah? How'd the interview go?
Well, the guy, he had a firm handshake, and he
was great.
he was somebody I would really like to be. He ex-military, about 6'9".
6'9". He's a large man.
He was
It must be
humongous.
It must be sad for him because there's no way that there's any of the clothes at that store would fit him.
No. And he was wearing a T-shirt that said, "I'm a dick face." And he followed me out to my car.
Are you sure he worked there?
I mean, he was the only guy around. And he was waiting to get in because I went before it would have opened. So, anyways, I was impressed. So yeah, it was. That was kind of the main thing that happened this week. Otherwise, I was just kind of at the library, just looking at books. So, what about you? How was your week?
So I have been having that fight with the guy who owns the deli near me,
Yep.
and I finally robbed him.
With your hand, did you?
Well, what I did was I said, Barton, your daughter's in trouble. I saw her here. I ran here. I called the police, and he ran out, and I pulled out a garbage bag and I just dumped a bunch of stuff in, and I threw it in the trash.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah. So I mean, I guess if the police find you and track you down, you could say, "Look, I don't have any of that stuff anymore." So dump it in the trash.
There's no way they'll track that back to me.
And just to be clear, I know that he said he didn't like you. He said he didn't like anything about you.
Well, he didn't say hello to me often.
Okay. So and that was the main rub, I guess.
I mean, how else would you interpret that? That's the way.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Hello. That's how you begin seeing someone.
And you said you said he pissed on your sandwich. It was soaked in piss.
It's either that or he was just so careless with the yellow peppers that the water, there was too much water. So yeah, either way, I mean, obviously one is much worse,
Okay.
but I was frustrated.
Well, I want you to know that if you do get arrested for that, I don't have the resources to get you out, but I will reach out to the Twitch community and see if anybody there has any resources.
Really fast, are we doing calls? Am I putting in the phone number, or are we just doing cold calls?
Let's see how the cold calls go. If we're not getting anybody picking up and talking to us, we'll take calls.
What's your setup for it?
I asked Lee to call in.
Okay.
Do you want me to put the number up then?
Yeah, I mean, at some point we can. Yeah.
Cool. I'll put it up once we get past the introduction.
Cool.
Cool.
Alright, sorry.
The titles are in there, right?
Title?
The opening titles?
Oh shit, you know what? I don't see it.
Oh. I think.
Where's it normally looks like?
Go to Dropbox.
They're not in there anymore.
DOT and transfer.
Oh.
Got it. Good catch.
Wing.
Alright, and then while the intro plays, I will de-solo the music track. You'll have mic slide, so just no chat for that.
Cool.
As for the creative character shit,
Are we, is the audio live?
I just soloed the music, the background music during the countdown so that they can't hear your mics. But yeah, the audio should be, you should be able to hear the music right now.
Oh, we're hearing us. Is the audio live? It's such a funny.
depths of the dark web. Dark of the night.
Eric, it's great to be here with you tonight.
It's a pleasure, as always, Alex. Nanu.
Nanu 19. Night crawlers, welcome to Dark of the Night. I am Alex Myers.
I'm Eric Yearwood.
At some point in your life, you're going to need to start a cult. So we're here to guide you. We don't usually do instructionals on the show. Usually we do explorations, but tonight's an instructional.
That's right. We want you to be fully prepared to start your own cult. We want you to have all the tools. Now, this isn't going to be exhaustive, but we do want to open the door and crack open your skulls so that you can allow the thoughts to filter down about how you might start a cult.
This is a method. It's pointers. It's something for you to take and make your own. So I think we should dig right in. Here's what I will say. The t-shirt, the Dark of the Night t-shirt is still on sale.
Yeah.
It's right in the panels below, and you can literally buy a t-shirt that says Dark of the Night on it.
And look, we're not grifters. We don't try and push you to do anything on behalf that would benefit us monetarily. But if we were those kind of people, this would be the night when we'd want you to respond in just a huge way. So if you have any friends, family that wear t-shirts, grab a bunch. Just keep slamming on that buy button until the computer doesn't work anymore.
Matt says Alex looks like a Branch Davidian tonight. Huge compliment. Those people were eviscerated, or not eviscerated, emaciated. They were thin. They were what we call heroin chic.
Yeah.
A great sort of modeling shape. Davidians had.
Have you ever seen those videos of David Koresh playing guitar?
Yes.
I mean, wow. Move Over Lou Reed.
And Move Over Beethoven by Roll Over Beethoven by Little Richard. Let's pull up the elements of a cult, Chris. This is it.
You're looking at it.
This
folks.
is the universal. This is the universal exemplar. The 4 ingredients. Some people might say, Alex, beliefs and activities are not the same things. That there should obviously be 5 breakdowns, and let's imagine this is a made-up argument. Let's say that my response is I ran out of room for those triangles and I wanted to keep them all the same shape.
Well, and if you're a strong cult leader, then you can just tell people to be quiet, and then they're no longer allowed to speak. So we've got 4 categories here under the 4 elements. Beliefs and activities is 1. Leader is 2. Home base is 3. Followers is 4.
Yeah. And we're going to dig in to each of these. Guys, share with us your insights. Some of you may tonight, some of you may be on your journey of creating your own cult now. And we want to hear what that journey has been like. But Eric,
Yeah.
Why everyone starts a cult at some point in their life?
Right.
Why?
Well, because everybody needs love.
Right.
Everybody needs relationships. And I think we are sort of like-minded in the fact that we don't believe you can have a relationship with anyone else outside of a cult.
Right.
I mean, you and I, our friendship is sort of an exception, but maybe some might say that the Night Crawlers, that we represent a type of a cult, and that may or may not be true, but I have found that it's the only real path to friendship. What about you?
It is the only. I mean, it's not really up for debate. There's no other way to make friends. because there could be, because I mean, what? How could I not have any friends? It's crazy.
I think that too when I'm showering, and I just wish somebody would invite me out to see the new Terminator movie, which hasn't come out yet, but it's gonna. They're gonna reboot.
There'll be more.
And
Predator. There's a new Predator.
There's a new Predator.
Call me. Somebody call me and ask me to go see Predator.
Yeah, and
It's getting great press.
I think there's no way that I can be the kind of person that nobody's calling. And sometimes I'll pick up the phone. And I live in my car, so I'm just picking up my cell phone or my shoe and pretending it's a phone, saying hello, and it's nobody.
I keep buying phones with more and more space because I'm not getting any contacts. I'm not getting any messages on my phone, and this is a smartphone. So I figure, well, maybe I don't have the right app, and I keep downloading all of them. So I have a 128 gigabyte iPhone 8, and it's filled with messaging apps, and there's no messages. I'm not getting any And so the simple, message here is, if you want friends, you have to start a cult.
I went into a CVS and I bought a box of condoms this week, and I was like, I'm gonna give you one of these to my boys for when they go out, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and then I just didn't have anybody to give them to, so I just threw them away. So yeah, there's got to be a way to make friends.
So Chris, what's next? I think we're going to talk about our personal wants, guys. So here's, when you're blue skying, about your cult, because there is a methodology, there is a breakdown of the elements you need, but nobody gets into wanting to start a cult to do it the right way, right? You start with what you want. So let's go to Alex's cult must-haves. This is to me, this is my, everybody has their favorite movie. Some people say it's Jurassic Park. Some people Star Wars, and people would say, my favorite movie, it's gotta have like a big story. It's gotta have that kid who finds out he's the most important kid in the world. In terms of, if this cult was a movie, it would be Star Wars. For me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This is my big one. And if my cult doesn't have a nonsensical origin story or a nonsensical orange, I mean, you might as well just buy me a gun and use it on me.
It's funny that you bring this up, because you were explaining the origin story for your cult, and I remember you said, Eric, what do you think? Because it had that volcano in it, and it had ghosts, and it had the Grim Reaper riding on a falcon, and I was like, it's not. It makes too much sense,
right?
And you workshopped it, and I'm so proud, because now it's just, I can't follow. The thoughts are completely disconnected.
You put me on the spot. Because I don't, that's such a great compliment. I don't want to have to. I'll share the log line version of my origin story.
Great.
Okay. Never shallow times.
Yeah.
Swept through time. I really think, here's what I like about it. I think people might say that's a cop-out. There's not even any sentences in there. Mm-hmm. That's what I think is kind of fresh. Because what are you going to do after Scientology? Because it's basically a bunch of, it's a really creative, hulking pile of bullshit.
I've heard it 10 times now, and I can't even get past the first word. It makes zero sense to me, which is fantastic.
The hippie Steve repeated it.
Never he shallow
It
time
looks
swept.
good, right? It's a nice collection of words. To me, that seems like Greek that's been translated like 50 times.
Yeah,
To me, that's a sweet spot.
it's.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel like this is like being in like a college creative writing class, and you just look at that one guy, and he just brings that story about him like doing acid with his friends, and you're like, whoa, man, this is like Chaucer. So you're on the right track.
Let me bust through the rest of this list so we can get to yours. Cruise ships, you're not allowed to leave. That to me, that's just a fun. That's just a fun. One is kind of like point one. That's kind of like my. Are you kidding me? You gonna have a cult? You gotta have a nonsensical origin story. Two, it's like, well, am I gonna live the rock star fucking life? Yeah. And I am gonna have a cruise ship. It's gonna be an ocean liner, and no one can leave. And there's a gymnasium where we sleep. There's room for 2,000 people on that ship. There's a crew of 18, and there's 70 passengers. And no one can go anywhere. It's been we go into the port when everyone's asleep, medically asleep, if you understand me.
I think I do.
And then that's when we bring in the supplies. And we don't, but we don't tell people that we need supplies. We tell them we have a replicator. Let's just look at point 3. I think this is just a security thing, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, how are you going to enforce the rules unless you have an endless network of people to intimidate the people who aren't part of the cult? You see, back off, pal.
Here's my dream. I know I'm taking up way too much time. When I start to have fun. I mean, this is an important issue for us. So I mean, you get me started on my dreams, I'll talk your ear off. But I've in bed many times. I've laid down in bed with I have 3 pillows, and so I'm basically sitting up. And so I'm sitting up in bed. And I close my eyes and I imagine this scene. Someone's watching me on TV, right? On sort of a staticky public access channel.
Old-timey kind of TV, yeah.
And it's not even live footage of me. It's someone playing footage of me to talk about me. That's how big people are sort of talking. Random people are talking about me, and it's me preaching, and it's on in a bar. Sometimes in movies there's like a TV on in a bar, and somebody will say, "Turn that, turn
SOB
that
off."
Yeah, turn that SOB off." And then right next to him, someone leans over and says, "I think you better watch what you say."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
And he says,
it's
"Excuse
Tom
me?"
Cruise or whoever.
That would be great. But I mean, that's a little more too blue sky for me.
Oh.
I top celebrities. I top out at the guy from Psycho. The original Psycho.
Oh, Hitchcock.
No, he's the guy who's in it. The guy, Norman Bates. Norman Bates. Could you imagine if Norman Bates from Psycho leaned over to you in a bar and said, "Watch what you say"? You'd be like,
well, he had AIDS. The real guy. So, I don't... but, yeah, I can imagine that. That is a good dream. Those are great must-haves, man. And I think the cult you're building it's going great. I'm so proud of the progress you've made.
I feel good. I felt good about it.
Yeah. That's great.
Let's go to your top 3. Let's move right past. Let's see what the Nightcrawlers.
SOB is a little strong for a bar, Matt in Los Angeles says.
Well, so Hippie Steve said hurricane season is upon us, wait off on the cruise ships. Here's the thing. Easily Easily. I mean, this cruise ship would be out years at a time.